Hey guys, it's Adam with ND72 and welcome to the channel. So today we got the CLK55. So one other little performance thing we're going to do today, just because I made a couple videos about airbox and stuff like that before. This airbox gets so effing hot for heat soaks, and then air intake temperatures go up on it. So this car's been sitting for about 2-3 hours and it is still effing hot. So we basically just drove the car to my house. It was like 75 degrees out when we drove it. Very nice and simple. And then it sat for about 3.5 hours. It is still. The box alone is 130 degrees temps. So you're just literally cooking your air because all the hot air from the exhaust and everything like that is just coming up and getting trapped in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an intake on this that I've used on my CLK55, my other CLK500, multiple of them, and it's proven to drop temps, flow more air, and work great. So we're going to start knocking that out on this. Alright, so step one, we're going to start removing this one. So we got these factory little snorkels. They're already ripped. So they're not trash, but we're not going to use them. This snorkel, damn, that's also ripped. But you know what else it is? Trashed. Not using that one. Now we're going to keep these front covers. Give me 1 second to get gloves, because that's kind of hot. Alright, now we got gloves on, so we won't burn myself that much. We'll take this and put it aside. Oh, and also, if anyone wants this airbox, hit me up. I'll try to sell it like dirt cheap if you're local. And if not, I'll probably just use it for decoration. Hot. Oh, it looks like it's got aftermarket filters in there, maybe. Whew, that is hot. So now we got that removed. Now you can see this nice, shiny little engine area. Very nice. Seems like we got a nice little oil leak right there. We'll have to probably fix those valve cover gaskets. It looks like just the top one's leaking. So we'll maybe clean it off and then verify it's leaking from there. So now, from my opinion, like, wow, that intake manifold is cooking right now. I'll actually go to the gun and see how hot that is. Alright, so with just that stock airbox, this intake manifold is 145. So that's pretty cooking. So what we're going to do, the plan is to get the intake. It's going to be coming off of the mass airflow sensor, and then it's going to come right down here and go right into this cubby. So what we'll have to do is remove the horn and relocate that, and then we can start knocking this out. Alright guys, so one step to clear this little hole out is we got to get this horn out of the way. So it should just be a little 10 mil under the plug. One plug. 2 plugs. And now we got that out of the way, and we'll probably relocate it somewhere or just throw it away. You don't need multiple horns on this car. So, we'll see what happens. Alright, so here we got is the intake we're going to put on. This is the one I made about like 8 years ago for one of our CLK500s, which we sold that vehicle. So it's just been sitting in the garage. It's very standard, just 3 inches, 1 single bend. We already thermal tape it because we've done this multiple times to this car. It's one I welded up like 6-7 years ago. So how it kind of goes is, more or less, we got to adjust it right like that. So the filter goes down there, so we do have to lift the car up to add the filter in, but it sucks in cold air from down there, because right here, right by the fog light, air gets pushed into there, and it sucks it right up, and then with this heat tape, it'll keep it reflected, and it sits above the motor, so you have more airflow going over the intake manifold, over everything, and it'll help cool it down. The factory one basically almost fully sandwiches on there, and it just heat soaks. Because with the factory one, you're getting heat from the headers, you're getting heat from valve covers, and like everything's traveling up on it. This, you're only getting heat on a small area, and it's wrapped. So with it being circular and wrapped, it should deflect most of the heat. So we're going to get all the tools, get it properly adjusted, and throw it in. Alright, so the second part of the intake that you don't see, this one actually is like a little extension. Yes, I could have made it one solid unit. The only reason I didn't is just for conveniency of easier to take it in and out. Because right now, all I do is debolt this from the bottom, this whole pipe would come up. If I made it too long, it just makes it a little bit hard to get everything in there. So we got the car jacked up, so I'm going to go over there and knock it right in there. If you look over here, so you can see the filter literally, intake piping goes right in between everything. So one thing we did notice though, so for the 500s, the headlights are the different style headlights, and they're actually shorter. So all we did was just trim this off like it was roughly like a 1/2 inch. Just to bring it in more, to suck it more against this wall. That was really it. The only difference if you have these style headlights compared to the other ones. Besides that, it basically will fit right up. So So this should still go right back on a 500. But now we definitely know it also goes on a 55 with these headlights. Alright, so we got it all installed. If you come on over, you can see a lot of it. So it hooks right into here, and the throttle body goes to a 90. Goes down, it's got the heat wrap. And this is really effing sturdy. It's in there. It's not really playing a little bit. So if you look right here, we got the rubber connector. The other reason I use these rubber ones is because it actually does a cushion around all this stuff, so you don't got metal and metal rubbing. And then if you come over here, you can actually see where the filter placement is. Right here. Yep. So with all your other shielding, it'll actually be connected. We just have a hole that we accidentally made. I guess the previous owner did this. So you can see right where our filter is. And also, so the fresh air it's going to come in from, if you got all your shielding, you'll get all your fresh air right here because the filter's right there. So it'll ram it in there, and then I'll suck it and go right in. So this should be so much more efficient. And like I said before, you can just see the gap that you got for air to go through. Also, the next thing I would want to do is do the secondary air pump delete, like I've done on all my other cars. And then you also clear this up, and you get a little bit more air under the manifold. Because this is that's still boiling hot right now, and this has been hours now. So we're pretty happy with it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to fire it up and let you hear it. It sounds a little bit nicer. Alright guys, so with the few benefits you get from this, you drop a couple lbs, you hopefully get colder air, hopefully you get more air. So you get some more performance mods. You definitely drop some weight because it's definitely lighter off the nose. So we did remove the horn like I showed you. This car has 2 horns. You drop a couple lbs, and this is what a car sounds like with just 1 horn. So it's still pretty effing loud, but now it sounds like a little beep beep. So not bad. We like it. So now we're going to box it all up, go for a nice little test drive, and hopefully it all worked. Okay, yeah, before you ask, I don't have my whole other setup in this car right now. So we're doing data logging with this. Can you see? Yeah, I can see. All right, so we've been driving around for a little bit, and we're at 98 degrees. Air intake temp, 96, 98. So outside it is, can you see? Yeah. It is 92 outside right now. Let me get this thing to focus. And we're just going like 8 degrees above ambient. We're just cruising right now, doing 37. So we're going to go over here to Mexico and do some pulls, get a Dragy data. We're going to get some info for you guys. All right, guys, so we're out here in nice sunny Mexico. We're going to pull over and set up the Dragy and then start doing some times. So our old one with this car before the tune, the intake, and all that stuff was, I think we were doing like on the street. I'll have to look it up. I want to say it was like 14 O's at like trapping 110 maybe. I'll have to look it up. It was pretty bad. So mainly because we're also doing this in like 90-degree weather with 2 people in the car. So we're going to do the same thing on the same road and see if we get any better. From a dig.
All right, you ready?
You got to fully stop and I got to hit reset.
Okay.
All right, going ready? Alright.
Floor to get the tires hot.
Yep.
And then I'll just...
Yep, and then... Alright, let me reset.
There's a car coming. See where we go.
Alright, I'm going. Going ready.
Ready?
Go. All right, so we're still here in Mexico. We just did the 3 runs. It is still 94 degrees out right now. And now we're gonna do a little bit of data. So with all those runs, our temperature is at, all right, let me try to get this good in my lappy. Focus. The glare. I gotta put a window up. Hold on, gentlemen. Alright, that's a bad glare. There we go. Now you guys can see. So we're gonna try to do a couple 20 pulls and just get some data. Alright, so we're back from Mexico. We're in a nice little plaza right now. So I'm going to review the data, but really quick, it looks like, so outside it's like 96 out right now. So looking over the data, we were doing air intake temps around like 104. So that would have been like 8 degrees above. And then if you saw as we drove, the faster we went, it kept dropping to basically go to ambient air temperature. It was like 98. And the temperature was dropping. I'll have to look at actually how much pound we're shoving through the mass airflow sensor, go over that data and everything. But the car's performing pretty well. If you looked how we did the Dragy, we did the first pull and we're still spinning, so we're kind of rolling into it. We did like a, I don't know, it was like a 13.7 and change. Then it just kept dropping to low 13s. So I think if we take this to the track, or if we do it on a day that's not so effing hot, so we're doing it on a day where it's like 96 degrees out, we had the windows open and we had 2 people in the car. These were the same circumstances we did the last Dragy one. It's a little bit hotter today and we did drive a lot more around, and our last one was 14.0 on the street with this car. So all the mods we did, we dropped about like 7-8 tenths of a second. So we're super happy about it. And just to recap, this is VTEC ECU, VTEC TCU, intake, exhaust, and then we gutted some weight. So we're super happy with it. Hopefully we could go to the track and get even better times with it. But if you guys like the video, make sure you guys hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Alright, so go over the data really quick of it. So the first hit, granted this is all like I said, it was 92 degrees and it went up to 96 degrees. 2 human bodies in the car, windows down. We tried to do the same thing we did last time when we were on the exact same road. We did 0 to 60 in 5.8 on the first hit, and we did quarter mile in 13.8. So as you could see throughout the video, we were just adjusting and getting better, just like we did with the first time we went out there when we did the best we could ever do was 14.0. That was the best we could do all day. So now the best we did this time was, let me check, 13.3. So we literally dropped 7 tenths of a second with VTEC tune. We went from a other tune to a VTEC tune, went to VTEC TCU, and we definitely dropped some LBs, did intake and exhaust and little things like that, and dropped those 7 tenths. This is still on at the peak of it, on the last hit, it was 96 degrees out, and with 2 human bodies in the car and windows all down. Also, if you watch the air intake temps that we were doing, when we went up to like 100 and change and all that stuff, our air intake temp maxed out at like 98, 100, and our outside ambient temperature was 96 by the time we actually did that, and that was with about like 5 or 6 runs. So 100% heat stoked, all that stuff, and we were still just going a couple degrees above ambient. So if anyone says that intake that I built does not work, 100% wrong. We literally just proved that in every which way you could do it. So we're super happy with it, and we hope you guys liked the video, and we're going to be doing a lot more with the CLK. Hopefully we'll be getting headers soon, do a couple other things, full suspension, and getting it perfectly ready to be a road race car. It's not really meant for 0 to 60. It's not meant for quarter mile. The way we're building it is to do a road race car. So we're so far pretty happy with it. Hope you guys like the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe.